I'm back, YouTube. Part 2 of the NBA playoffs. Okay, so today's games are the Dallas Mavericks versus the San Antonio Spurs, the Charlotte Bobcats versus the Miami Heat, the Washington Wizards against the Chicago Bulls, and to cap things off, the Portland Trail Blazers versus the Houston Rockets. Okay, so we're going to get into my predictions. Now, the first game, Dallas versus San Antonio. Okay, this is what I'm going to say about this game. Greg Popovich is the coach for San Antonio. I expect San Antonio to win game 1 pretty decisively, 5 or 6 points. I expect them to take this series in 4 or 5 games max. Now, the Charlotte Bobcats versus the Miami Heat. This series could be really interesting. No, no way. That was a joke, obviously. But let's see. Charlotte Bobcats versus the Miami Heat. Miami Heat, they're the defending champions for 2 years in a row, and I expect them to win this series 4 or 5 games. It'll probably go 5 games, but they'll win today too. I don't see how Charlotte could win one on the road against Miami. Now the Washington Wizards and Chicago Bulls. This series could be interesting, really, seriously. I think this series will go 6 games. 6 games. The Chicago Bulls will take it. They've got a lot more playoff experience, and they've got a better head coach. John Wall is obviously a fantastic talent. I've been high on him since he was at Kentucky. I knew he was going to be a star. I knew it from the moment I saw him play at Kentucky. I knew he would be a star, and he is. Now, the Portland Trail Blazers versus the Houston Rockets. This game could go either way, but I'm going to predict Portland to win this game. But I think Houston will win this game, and they win this series in 7 games. I think the matchup of James Harden and Dwight Howard is just too much for Portland to overcome. Portland's got a great 1-2 punch of Damian Lillard and LaMarcus Aldridge, and they've got a decent starting 5, an average bench, but their starting 5 is adequate enough to compete with Houston. I really like what they've been doing with their team, the Portland Trail Blazers. They're a young, up-and-coming squad, but this isn't their year. The Rockets are ready to compete for a championship now. It's unlikely that they'll get to the finals, but it's certainly possible. Now, those are my thoughts for today's games. Hope you saw part 1 of all the analysis from last night's games, yesterday's games, and this sums up the video, part 2 of the NBA playoffs. This is Jon Snow speaking from Jon Snow Sports and Fitness. Subscribe to the channel for the latest sports analysis, sports updates, fitness advice for athletes, and all things related to sports and fitness. Diamonds are forever, and so is Jon Snow. This is Jon Snow speaking. Peace out.